in the things that you have. Your life is a gift from God. Your life is sustained by the grace of God. The point of your life is that you are here to honor and glorify and enjoy God. And the end of your life, you will stand before God and give an account of your life. But your trouble is this: you lost God and you spent all your time worrying about your finances and your food and your fashion and your fitness and your family. All these things are legitimate when they are handed over to God. But you haven't done that. You lost God and worried about all these things. When our concerns are focused on the things that we think will secure our lives, they will degenerate into worry. Instead of us recognizing that the orientation has to be and who God is in this thing, and with prayer and supplication, we make requests to God about what? About our food, about our fashion, about our fitness, about our finances. And we relate all these things to Him, listen, with thanksgiving. Thank you, God, for this food. Thank you, God, for these finances. Thank you, God, for this measure of fitness. They are all gifts from you. Thank you, God, that none of these gifts from you will take the place of you. Thank you, God, that I could talk to you about all these things. Thank you, God, that you're interested in me talking to you about these things. Thank you, God, that as I talk to you about these things, you'll give me wisdom to keep these things in perspective. Oh, and by the way, God, thank you very much. Now I've handed all these things over to you. They're your worry, not mine. Does that make sense? Rejoice in the Lord. Let your sweet reasonableness be known. Remember the Lord is near. And in all the things that we think life consists of, make sure that you're relating them all to the one from whom they come. Knowing that when you hand them to Him, they're His concern, but bearing in mind, when you keep them to yourself, they're your worry. Which would you rather have these things be? God's concern or your worry? Well, it's a no-brainer if you can do it. Now, there are two other steps. I don't have time to get into them now, but you can check them out yourself. One is to make sure that your mind is fed with the right things. And there's a beautiful list of the right things to feed your mind with, instead of filling it with worries and anxieties. And the final thing is, and then do what you know. Do what you know. We could have a talk on worry and anxiety. We could follow that in our Bible. We could actually incredibly follow the outline. We might even unbelievably make some notes of our own. We might actually remember to take it home. In fact, we could even call our daughters and tell them the details of the talk, all of which is admirable and utterly useless unless we do something, which is what? Do what we know. Do I know how to rejoice in the Lord? Have I got some ideas how I can respond with sweet reasonableness? Can I fix my mind on the fact that the Lord is near? Can I begin to relate the things that I think my life is all about to the one about whom my life is all about? And can I begin to fill my mind with healthy, positive things? And will I do it? If I will, then there's two promises, two very simple promises. The first promise is this: the peace of God that passes understanding will be with you. The second one should read, and the God of peace will be with you. The peace of God will guard you, and the God of peace will be with you. Two great promises. I don't have time to get into them right now. Just quickly, this idea. The peace of God is a supernatural dimension of the character of God that is given to you as a gift, and it is beyond understanding. It is beyond understanding. That means it is far transcendent above anything that you could figure out for yourself. All your schemings, all your desirings, all your plannings to get everything sorted out would never, ever produce this peace of God. It is something that he will give you that you could never figure out for yourself. And it will act as a guard, like soldiers standing in a fortress. And it will guard your heart and mind. And the other promise is this: as the peace of God is granted to you, the God of peace will stand with you in the situation. Let me give you a little picture that you can take away with you. I want you to imagine a little house with 2 rooms. It's yours. One room is called heart, and the other is called mind. In the room called mind, that's where you think things through and arrive at some conclusions. In the room called heart, that's where you have your feelings. Heart and mind. Some people have a bigger room for mind and a smaller one for heart, and the others vice versa. Coming up the steps to this little house with 2 rooms in it called heart and mind are 2 mean, ugly-looking dudes. One is called anxiety, and the other is called worry. And as they make their way up the steps, they are talking to themselves, and one says, well, I'm going to move into room called mind, and the other one says, I'm going to move into room called heart, and we'll have a ball. And as they're making their way up the steps, and they just come to the front door, and they're going to bang the door down, 2 burly characters step out of the shadows, stand in front of them with their arms folded, tower over these 2 mean-looking dudes, and say, and where do you think you're going? And they said, we're going in here, and we're going to move into room heart and room mind, and we're going to have a ball. And the 2 burly characters say, no, you're not. Well, one of them says, I am the peace of God. And the other one says, and I am the God of peace. And you guys don't belong around here. You have no access whatsoever into this little house anymore. And with a quick, dexterous movement, they grab worry and anxiety by the scruff of their neck and the seat of their pants, and they hurl them over the hedge and dust their hands